Hey, what's going on guys? In today's video, I'm going to be talking about Stelara injections for treating Crohn's disease. Now, none of this is going to be medical advice, it's just purely personal lived experiences. I've been taking Stelara injections for almost 4 years now, and it's been such a positive experience. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about the dosages, frequencies of taking this drug, some side effects, and kind of my general outlook on the future. So hopefully you do enjoy, and if there's anything you want to know, then feel free to drop a comment down below. So starting off, in terms of the dosage and the frequencies, I take 2 injections every 8 weeks. So it's 90 milligrams or 90 mils, and I just inject it either side of my belly button, and that's literally all I have to do. So it's very quick, it's very convenient. Compared to taking daily tablets morning and night, this has honestly changed so much, and it's worked so well for me. Just in terms of a result kind of standpoint, before taking this, I would say my inflammation and my symptoms were about a 6 out of 10, and now they're about a 1 out of 10, and I would say I'm deeply in remission. So that's great. It's clearly worked for me, and I hope that if you are watching this video and you are maybe thinking about this, or you've heard about Stelara, maybe your doctor's told you, I'm hoping that you can get similar results as well. I know for some people, it isn't always like this. I have heard of stories of people hopping on it for a year and then it's no longer as effective as it once was. So everyone will be different, but yeah, hopefully this video can kind of at least give you some understanding of what might be achieved if you do decide to hop on this drug. So in terms of side effects, obviously it varies person to person, but overall, I personally felt nothing bad about taking this drug. But from what I've looked into, there's some dryness of the skin, some rashes, headaches, nausea, just the usual stuff that I think every drug company has to say. And I've never really heard of anything super severe. Unlike other drugs such as steroids or prednisolone, I had moon face on that. My face was super puffy. Azathioprine or Imurin, I had a massive rash on my face. It was super uncomfortable. So compared with Stelara, it was honestly so easy, and it is still so easy. 4 years in, I've never had any issues whatsoever. With that said though, it is every 8 weeks, and I do notice around week 7, I start to feel a little bit worse. It's nothing crazy, but I do notice that I go to the toilet a little more frequently. So that is just something to keep in the back of your mind. It won't cure you. It may help a fair bit, but yeah, at the end of the day, it won't completely solve all your problems. So one thing that I definitely think is worth mentioning is Stelara has to be refrigerated at all times. So normally this is fine. If you pick it up from the chemist, put it in your fridge, that's all good. But if you do like to travel a lot and you are traveling for long periods of time, say longer than 8 weeks, this can be quite problematic. So last year I went to Europe for 4 months. So that was 2 lots of Stelara I had to take with me. And it was just really annoying. It was just an extra thing I had to worry about. I had to find a fridge to put my stuff in always, and when you're staying in hostels, that can be very, very annoying. Luckily for me, I had family in this country I was visiting, so I just left it in their fridge and then made a few trips back and forth every 8 weeks, so that was great. But I can imagine that if I was to go somewhere else where I'm not in that position, it would be quite difficult. In terms of transporting the Stelara during that time, I was obviously flying from Melbourne all the way to London, and that's all up, it's about a 30-hour journey. I had one of these like cooler esky bags that I've gotten from Diabetics Australia. Obviously, no affiliation with them. That's just one I found that I thought would be appropriate. I'm gonna have a link in the description. Look into it if you want, but once again, that's not really like a recommendation or advice. That's just what I used. So yeah, it could be worth looking into. There's probably better products out there that are maybe Stelara suited. I'm not sure, but yeah, it worked great for me. So if you can get over that hump, or you don't travel a whole lot, then I think Stelara is great. But the other kind of downside, which some people might have, is obviously it's an injection and you are doing it yourself, or maybe someone else will do it for you. So if you are scared of needles, I think you might have to get over this, as annoying as that is, but they're only really, really small. It's very, very painless. And yeah, once every 8 weeks, which is fine. I think when you compare it to someone who is a diabetic and they're doing these injections daily, they have it far worse. So if all I have to do is take 1 injection every 8 weeks, in my books, that's a win. So I hope that kind of gives you a brief introduction onto what Stelara is and how it's taken. I know for me, it was one of those drugs that I knew very little about. I think it's still kind of being talked about more and more, at least when I was on it initially. There wasn't a lot of research, there was no videos on it online. So hopefully this video will kind of, act as a starting point, and you can have a few conversations with your doctor. Or you never know, maybe you know someone who has Crohn's and you're not sure what medications are out there. You can maybe ask them about it and kind of get an understanding of their experience too. Anyways, hopefully this video was helpful. If you have any concerns, questions, comments, anything like that, definitely drop a line down below. But for now, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.